Hello and welcome to HDFC Mutual Fund's Laxmi for Laxmi initiative, a financial empowerment program for women and by women. Here, women distributors share the unique behavior of women investors and the hurdles they overcome in their financial journeys. Join us as we empower each other in the world of mutual fund investments. Hello and welcome again. Today I'm talking to Keshavi, Velani, a mutual fund distributor based in Jharkhand with over 200 crore of AUM. Keshavi, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure, Larissa, to be with you, and a huge thank you to the HDFC for bringing me on this platform.
Most welcome. Keshavi, your journey has been really interesting. So you were the first accountant at Kotak Mahindra and you reported directly to Uday Kotak. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely right, Larissa.
Yeah. So
I
can
was
you
the
share
first
something?
accountant over there.
Yeah. So can you share something about your journey since then to where you are today?
Yeah, sure. I was the first accountant in Kotak. That time it was Kotak Mahindra Finance Limited.
Okay.
Way back in '86. And that time there were only 7 staff, and I was reporting directly to Uday. We were also at that time sharing space with the parent company Kotak and Company at Handloom House. Later on, we shifted to Nariman Point and we had a staff of 40 people. And now, as you know, there's more than 40,000 staff. After, in 1991, actually, I got married and I came down to Jamshedpur. At that time, jobs were very difficult to get in Jamshedpur. It was a town at that time, a very small town, and jobs were difficult. So when I took a couple of interviews, I was told, come to Calcutta, we will give you a job, which was weird. Afterwards, I used to go to visit my mother in Bombay. So one day I went to meet Uday. He told me, Keshi, what are you doing in Jamshedpur? I said, sir, there are no jobs available, so I'm just sitting at home. I can't do anything over there. So he's saying, oh no, don't just sit there. Start FDs, start mutual funds, do something. So I came back and I told my husband that this is what Uday has told me. He's saying, sure, let's try something. So then we started with telco FDs. At that time, it was known as Tata Electric and Locomotive Company, which is now known as Tata Motors. So we started with FDs of telco, where we were doing all the basic work of bill discounting, funds, fixed deposit work. So that was a good thing that went on for 3-4 years, and then telco stopped the FDs. So after that, we came into the mutual fund business. Of course, the mutual fund business was very new in Jamshedpur. People didn't know anything about it. So it was a very hard task to make people understand what a mutual fund is and how it was working. Gradually, we managed to get some clients, and gradually the business grew. And I lost my husband about 9 years back, and then my daughter joined me. She's also an ARN holder. So now both of us are managing, and we've got about 200 crores. We're handling about 200 crores of AUM.
Do you find the mindset of the people has changed over the years and how they viewed mutual funds then and how they are viewing it today?
Yes, Larissa, that has changed a lot now, because at that time people didn't understand mutual funds, how they were operated, how they were invested, where they were invested. And now the awareness has grown so much that you have everything on TV screens, on your mobile screens, and you have all the information, or rather much more information than you really need. So the mindsets have changed of people, and they understand it much better now, and they're more keen to invest in mutual funds.
How have you changed in your investing? You used to recommend FDs and stuff like that before, right? So how have you evolved in your investing approach?
First we were doing fixed deposits. So that was that. Then after that, when we shifted to mutual funds, we were going in for debt-oriented and hybrid funds, because that was the returns were similar to FDs and the risk was very little in that. So people who shifted from FDs wanted something which was less risky. After 2008, we realized that debt funds is not going to do the work, because you were not getting anything. And when that fall came in 2008, people were just devastated because all the investments had gone down. So after that, we started investing in equity gradually. Then there came a time, it's during the COVID, when we realized that no, there has to be a debt portion in all the portfolios, because that is where the emergency money comes in from. So again, we changed. So yes, it has been a journey of learning and teaching also. So it's been a long journey, and a lot of differences have come in.
Yeah, you said you describe yourself as one who guides business owners and professionals in achieving financial independence, in
Right.
achieving their money goals. Have you seen an increase in women in this ecosystem?
Definitely.
Really?
Definitely, there's been an increase in the number of women investors that have come in. In the beginning, there used to be that family clients were there. So obviously the women were there. But
Right.
they didn't have a role to play as such. It was just the husband or the father would say, sign here, and they would sign, that's all. And if you ask anything to them, what about this? What is your opinion? They'll just look at the husband or the father, and just didn't have an opinion. But now we have, with the workforce having a lot of more ladies, you have a lot of more investors also. Like the ladies are earning to invest their own money, control their own finances. So there are a lot of more lady investors also. Basically, more of the younger, like first it was just a fraction of the area. Now we could say about 20-25% are ladies. It's a small number, but still it's growing.
Oh, that's quite a significant number.
Yes,
Say 25%, yeah.
definitely, yeah.
And what about the men? How has their mindset changed towards roping in the women to partner with them in money?
No, to give them credit, they have definitely understood the need to have the women folk get into the finances, to understand the finances and take an active part, even if not day to day, but still take an active part. And now especially after the COVID, men have realized that having everything in a single name, or everything is in a single name, like the banks, demat accounts, everything. So afterwards, it becomes a very big core to bring everything into the proper channels. So now they've also realized it. So they are also encouraging women to look into the businesses. We had this time, when it was long before the COVID. I had a lady come to me with a whole pile full of papers. She didn't know what her husband was doing. She lost her husband recently, so she didn't know what her husband was doing. And the whole pile of papers, it took me at least 6 to 8 months to get them sorted out, because most of them were in single name. So you had a lot of red carpet to go through. So these kind of cases that come, get people need to change the mindset that no, please involve your spouses into all this.
So suppose someone comes and tells you, I really don't want my husband to be knowing about this. Do cases happen like that I'd rather keep it to myself, away from my spouse?
I had one case like that. And I encouraged her that, look, you may want to keep everything like this, but then there is going to be a problem later on. So I tried to convince her of it, and I think she got convinced, because after that she didn't come on her individual way. She was investing already, but she didn't come to tell me that, okay, I want to put this away from what my husband knows.
Okay. So you encourage both spouses to come together to meet you, and you discuss it all together.
Together, and I suggest to all my clients, please have everything in two names, in joint names. Whether it's a demat, whether it's a bank account, or whether it's a mutual fund, please have joint names.
What advice would you give a young couple who's about to get married? Financial advice. What would you tell them?
About to get married, I would first of all say that please start saving as soon as you can. That is the first point. And secondly, please be very transparent about all your investments. Don't keep something like that where the other person doesn't know what is happening. And in arranged marriage, what happens is people are not really convinced whether it will be a good pair or not. So I suggest that you keep your old bank accounts, but let your spouse know about them. And then when you're comfortable, you close those accounts, or you put your spouse's name or something. That is what I would tell the newly or about to marry couple.
So tell me one thing, these newly married couples, they all open joint accounts, or they keep separate accounts and a joint account, or how does it work now?
I think most of them keep the separate accounts which they have. And nowadays, so they don't change names also, surnames. So basically, they keep the accounts as they are, and they open fresh accounts, to have a proper budgeting system where, both people are actually contributing also, and, they are budgeting for the household expenses. So I think this is the thing, and I think that's the best way actually.
Are women open to having budgets, or do they just automatically work with what they have?
Women have been having budgets from time immemorial. We used to
Actually,
be given the money, and we had to work the households. I mean, women in general, and then they used to keep some money in that burnie and some money in that gullak, and that was how it was. Maybe buy a little bit of gold. So that is what was done. So of course we had budgets at that time also. So we always had budgets, and women can do budgeting very nicely, in fact.
oh no, I meant in a structured way. That do the people actually operate within a budget? Do a lot of young people operate within a structured
Yeah,
budget?
youngsters actually, yes, have those Excel sheets and those colored things and all that stuff. But yeah, definitely.
In your interactions with women, okay, from all sorts of strata or marital status, what are the insecurities that they face? What are the hurdles in their mind?
You mean for investing?
For investing, yeah, for investing.
So actually, first thing is women. All predominantly, we've been a male-based society. So the father or later on the husband has been doing the finances, and the women are like, "ठीक है, कर रहे हैं तो कर रहे हैं," that sort of thing. So now what is happening is the women, even if they want to ask something, they feel that maybe the other person will think it's silly. They don't want to open up. And those kind of hurdles. Another thing is that nowadays women have all dual roles. They're looking after the house, they're going for the jobs, they have seniors, they have children looking to be looked after. So at the end of the day, they really don't have any time to take out for themselves or their finances. So basically, that is also a real hurdle. And I think, but ladies are making ways out of all this, and I really hope this thing changes.
Are they more risk averse? Do they are prone to take more risk? What does anything differentiate them, if at all? Maybe I'm wrong.
One thing that differentiates them is they are prepared to keep the money for a longer period. They are not within 2-3 years, okay, change this and do this, or they're prepared to keep it for a long time. As you tell them that, no, this is a good fund, you just leave it, they will leave it. That is a very big pro for lady investors. And they really make good investors for this simple reason that they are like, they listen to you, they understand that you are the professional over here, and they do as you tell them to do.
What about, have you had a couple where the woman is in the forefront of managing the money and the husband is more than happy to let her take control? Have you come across?
Yes, I have those kind of couple clients. I have where the wife comes in that, okay, this money has to be put, this money has to be put, this in my husband's name, put this in my name, and like she's ready to take all the paperwork and okay, give me this, give me that. It has happened. I have got 2 clients of that.
And what about those who are widowed or single or divorced? Are they more insecure about their finances?
First, like I had, I think about 2-3 widows who came to me, like I said, with the whole files of things. And then one lady I took out after about 5-6 months, I got her 11 to 12 lakh from her investments, and she was very happy about it. After that, she kept all her investments with me, and I have even started a SWP for her. So she's very happy about it and all. So yeah, even they if they have the proper guidance, I'm sure they will like to keep the money and get a good benefit from that.
Your clients who save for retirement, is there a shift from them wanting to depend on their children to wanting to be completely independent?
No, nowadays, yes. Nowadays, all the people think that, no, we'll do ourselves. We don't want to disturb our children. As far as possible, as much as they can, they save or they invest and take care of their own retirement needs. So we have a lot of these couples because this business was started by my husband and me together. So we have more of our age, clients. So they are all almost retired now. So they all have these SWPs going on. They've been collecting the money. They've been investing the money from years. And now they are into that stage where, they're taking SWPs too, and they're not dependent on their children, sons, daughters, whatever. They're not dependent on their children. They try to, as far as possible, let us do it. And if we don't manage it, then we can tell the children to, help out.
Is there any advice you got from your mother or from your mother-in-law, grandmother that has really held you in good stead?
Yes, actually, my mother was also a working woman. My mother and my father had a printing press together. So when I started my first job, I think this is way back 78, 79 probably. So my first job was for 250 rupees per month. And I got a 6-month, salary together. First 6 months, I didn't get the salary and I got it together at the end of the 6 months. I mean, now I'm very happy to say that, that was a very big step that my mother made me take. And I have passed on the same advice to my children. As soon as they started working, I have told both my daughters, please start investing. And they have followed this culture. They understand this culture. And I'm very happy about it. Yes, I'm very proud to say, yes, my own mother has taught me about these finances.
So you invest in stocks as well as mutual funds in your own personal capacity?
Stocks, I have been investing, but in a very small way. Basically, I've been into mutual funds. Stocks, so my husband was very fond of stocks. So he had invested a lot of stocks, which I have not now got in my name. But I basically trust mutual funds more.
Do you have any money regrets that you wish you had maybe started earlier? Okay, you started very early.
I started
invested more. Any money regrets you've had?
Money regret, I mean,
spent too much on something or invested in a bad investment. Any regrets?
No, bad investments. There were a couple of shares which my husband had invested in. But I mean, it's okay. I think it's part of the game. It happens. It happens every day.
If you could share 2 or 3 pointers for women, any women, single, married, starting off late in life, about managing their money, what would you tell them?
Look, I would put this into probably 2 or 3 categories.
Okay.
Like a lady, a girl who's just got into a job. I would say that, look, start as soon as you start earning. Start investing as soon as you start earning. The first thing could be even 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees. It doesn't matter. Like I had this maid. She was working in my house and she used to listen to me, talking about mutual funds and all. She's saying, Madam, mere paas khali 100 rupiya, 1000 rupiya hai mahine ka, what will I do? I said, no, 1000 rupiya is a lot of money. And I started a SIP for her. And she was very happy with it. She's still continuing with that.
How many years?
Pardon?
How many years has her SIP been going?
It's about 5 or 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So she still continues with it. In fact, she's made it into 1,500 now very recently. She made it into 1,500. So this is the thing that you invest in. There is nothing like you can't invest with you can invest even with 500 rupees.
Yeah.
No amount, a small amount, as long as you have it consistently every month. So no amount is so small. Secondly, if there is a married couple or running a house, I mean, of course, they're running a house. So I would say, like, if you're getting a 60,000 salary, probably a house runs in 60,000, a house runs in 50,000, or even a 40,000. So first, as soon as you get a salary, first put it into investment. You make your SIP dates in such a way that they are immediately gone into that. So what you see is the amount you can spend. The first chunk already goes off into your investment, and then you just see of the 40,000 which you can get to invest. So that is a very big this thing. That is the way I think that people can really, they think how I can't save, I can't do this and this. So this is a way when you can do it by just putting your SIP dates to coincide with your salary coming in slips dates. That is the best thing. Yes, I have one advice. I think it's basically for all children. Spend wisely and be frugal in your this thing. So what happens is, if you want to buy something like a big thing, like maybe a phone or something, sleep on it for 24 hours. See if you really need it, then go for it. If you really need it, fine, buy the best of it. But if you don't need it, just don't buy, save the money. Our mantra as in our business has always been, make investments your second income. So whatever money you're investing, that comes out as your second income.
Can you unpack that a little? Can you explain that a little more? Make investments your second income. Do you mean invest in dividend
No,
stock or something?
no. That way, you're working somewhere, you're getting a salary, right? Now, where you're investing, your money is growing. So that way, actually, even if you're not taking out from that, you're still getting an income. So that is becoming your second income.
How do you advise women who are not earning? Do they also manage to save from their from the money their husband gives them? Do you have any clients like that?
I don't think that is really very practical, because if they're getting very little money from the husbands, how are they going to save? And mostly if they're getting little, it might be that, you want to go to the parlor, you're getting the money, or you want to go to eat something, you're getting the money. So there is no scope actually to save, I would say.
So the reason I ask is I just met someone yesterday. She works in a local salon, and her husband, she and her husband both work, and she used to always say, I'm so glad I have a skill that I can monetize. I can work at the salon.
Right.
And her husband got some nerve issue and he can't work right now. And she said, we are each other's safety net. We are each other's emergency fund. And I thought that is such what a dangerous way to live. Circumstances force you to do that because she cannot afford to fall sick now.
Correct.
She's got 2 daughters who are studying. So now her daughter has got a job in a pet shop, getting 4,000 rupees a month. The daughter is about 19 years old, last year of college. But I just see that so often we talk of have an emergency fund, stuff like that. For a lot of people, they just can't.
Yeah, you can't. And this reminds me of one more thing. I have one client. Like, it was very nice that they had joint accounts, the husband and the wife.
Okay.
The husband fell sick, and in such a way that he can't sign. So it is very nice that it was in a dual role, that the wife could sign and, take away for all the hospital bills, or, all the other expenses that were required. So if this was not there, it would have been a real problem for, I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah. So what would you tell single women then? Women who are divorced or single or widowed?
You have someone or the other to look after. It means be your second holder or be your nominee. Someone is there, I'm sure, who you can depend on, or, whom you would like to have with you somewhere. I'm sure there's someone or the other.
Of course, yeah. But these things one tends to overlook.
Yes, one tends to overlook, and that sometimes results in a very bad shape of things.
Right. Can you tell me one investing mistake? I go back to my earlier question and say an investing mistake you made, or not even a mistake, you learned from someone else's mistake. A big learning for you.
Yeah, I think the 2008 was a big learning for, through our clients, basically. And like in 2008, like I said, we were all basically into hybrid or debt funds. And then when the market fell, the market fell by almost 50%. So people, whatever they earned had all gone out, because debt funds, you get 6%, 7%. So all that you earned had all gone, and you were back to point one. So at that time we learned that no, we have to have some equity in all the portfolios, so that even if there is this kind of a fall, there is some place where it stops, because equity is there. It won't take such a big fall and it will stop. The same thing happened while COVID time, when we were all on for equity and earning things and everything, and then COVID time, people just had to take out money from equity because there were no debt funds there. So we realized that no, we have to have at least a 5 to 10% debt funds, so that in emergency it is easier to take out, and your equity stays as it is, because it's being accumulating. So you just take out from your debt fund and use it because you need it in an emergency.
So now you're very focused on asset allocation.
Yes.
So initially you weren't, is it?
Pardon?
Initially you weren't?
No, initially we weren't having.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Gone totally for equity, because my clients are all long-term clients. So what's the use of putting debt funds? That is what our thinking was. Why put for debt funds? Long-term clients, you might as well get good returns on equity. And then the COVID taught us that no, you need emergency money in any walk of life. So now we are putting 5 to 10% as a debt fund.
Got it. And you've started saving for your grandchildren?
Actually, my net worth itself has become so much that I'm not really worried.
Oh,
also.
congrats. That's nice.
So, yeah, because my husband has done a lot of work and all that has just got transferred to me. So actually, I'm not. And then my children will look after themselves. I don't know how much I will need to really help them. Thankfully, hopefully, at least, fingers crossed.
Yesterday, a family friend approached me and asked me for a fund because he wants to do an SIP for his granddaughter. So that's
Okay.
what I thought of. I thought that was such a
Okay.
nice gift to give his
Yeah.
granddaughter, who's turned 1 today.
Oh.
So,
Actually, I don't have grandchildren yet.
okay.
That's the point.
Oh, okay. I
don't
just
have
assumed you did.
grandchildren.
My bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else you have would like to say?
No.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Keshavi, for sharing your experiences. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for letting me be part of this platform, and I'm very happy to be here.
Most welcome. Thank you for watching. This is Larissa Fernand.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.